The ERi-TV news broadcast crew and I, Delit Zahai, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Supports extended to families of martyrs in Ansaba region. Nationals in various countries commemorated Martyrs' Day. Niger submits formal bid to leave ICC. Ukraine is trying to widen the conflict by threatening Minsk, the Russian foreign minister has said. Proceeding with our reports. Government workers, students and residents of the subzones of Asmat, Halhal, Galab and Karan in the Ansaba region have extended 465,000 nakfa in support of families of martyrs. Accordingly, 180,000 nakfa contributed in Asmat subzone, 85,000 contributed in Halhal subzone, and 24,000 nakfa contributed in Galab subzone has been dispersed to families of martyrs in their respective subzones. In addition, 32,000 nakfa contributed by Karan city residents and Truck Owners Association has been distributed to families of martyrs in the city. Administrator of the subzone said that the support was continuation of the assistance of the public, government workers and students have been providing through cultivating land and renovation of houses of families of martyrs and commended the initiative. Eritrean nationals residing in South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Sudan, Angola, Ghana, Guinea and Ivory Coast have commemorated Martyrs' Day 20th June featuring various programs. Nationals in South African cities of Johannesburg, Pretoria, Durban commemorated Martyrs' Day with candlelight vigil, experience sharing programs as well as cultural and artistic presentations depicting the significance of the day. Mr. Salih Umar, Eritrea's ambassador to the Republic of South Africa and Southern African countries, said that owing to the sacrifice of its martyrs, the Eritrean people have ensured their independence and peace as well as their identity and national sovereignty. At the commemorative event in Johannesburg, nationals contributed 42,000 rand towards augmenting the National Martyrs Trust Fund, while 4 nationals pledged to assume responsibility for supporting 10 families of martyrs. At the commemorative event organized by nationals in the Zimbabwean cities of Lasaka, Chingola, Mr. Gabriel Petros, Eritrea's chairman of the Eritrean community, said that martyrs are symbols of the identity and values of Eritrean people and called on nationals to live up to the expectation of the martyrs and demonstrate commitment by giving priority to the interests of the Eritrean people and country. Likewise, at the commemorative event organized in Zimbabwe, Mr. Akhlilu Gide, chairman of the Eritrean community, called on nationals to strengthen participation in supporting families of martyrs. At the event, 13 nationals pledged to assume responsibility for supporting 15 families of martyrs. The commemorative event in South Sudan held on 19th June featured candlelight vigil as well as cultural and artistic programs. Speaking at the event, Mr. Tsagay Mahari, Eritrea's council, called on nationals to fulfill the martyrs' trust through strengthening participation in the national affairs. Nationals in the Angolan cities of Luanda, Lubango, Bengola, Huambo, and Cabina, Conakry, Guinea, Accra, Ghana, as well as Abuja, Ivory Coast, commemorated Martyrs' Day under the theme "Reward for Our Martyrs is Transferring a Strong Country to the Future Generation." At the event in Angola, Mr. Desaleh Taklab, Eritrea's Consul General, called on the nationals to equip themselves with necessary knowledge and skill and strengthen participation in the national development programs. Nationals in various cities of Belgium and Luxembourg also commemorated Martyrs' Day with various programs reflecting the significance of the day. They also contributed 3,790 euros towards augmenting the National Martyrs Trust Fund. At the commemorative event in Brussels, Mr. Nagasi Kasa, Eritrea's ambassador to the European Union and Benelux countries, delivered a speech focusing on the deep meaning of the day and the heavy sacrifice the Eritrean people paid for independence and safeguarding national sovereignty. In the same vein, at the commemorative event organized by nationals in Vienna, Austria, participants contributed 2,000 euros and pledged to assume responsibility for the supporting of 2 families of martyrs. Nationals in the U.S. city of Atlanta also commemorated Martyrs' Day with patriotic zeal and contributed $28,955 in support of the families of martyrs. Straight ahead is our international news after a short break. Welcome back. Niger has officially submitted its request to withdraw from the International Criminal Court, the Hague-based tribunal said on Tuesday, 9 months after announcing the move alongside the allies Mali and Burkina Faso. The 3 Sahelian countries also all ruled by military governments that came to power in the COP between 2020 and 2023. In a statement sent to AFP on Tuesday, the International Criminal Court said it has received an instrument of withdrawal on June 18th from Niger, led by General Abdurrahmani Tayani. The request will take effect on June 18, 2027, the court said 1 year after notification. Niger must honor its obligation to the court until that day, in a statement said. The International Criminal Court statement made no mention of the Mali or Burkina Faso. The 3 countries are facing deadly violence by jihadist group linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, but their armies are also accused of crimes against civilians. Founded in 2002, the International Criminal Court mission is to prosecute of perpetrators in the most serious crimes such as war crime, the country's lack will or capacity to do themselves. Russia is ready to invoke its security guarantee to Belarus if Ukraine follows through the threats to strike target on the territory, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has warned. Lavrov made the remark during the Rabu table discussion on the withdrawal in the Ukraine conflict on Monday. He was commenting on Vladimir Zelensky's demand that the Minsk dismantle or disable the Kyiv claims are the Russian-linked relay station along the Belarus-Ukraine border. Zelensky gave the Belarus 1 week to act, warning that the Ukraine would otherwise destroy the equipment itself. The Russian foreign minister described the ultimatum as a threat against sovereign state, stating that this is obviously aimed at dragging Belarus directly to the conflict and expanding the geography of the hostiles. He noted that Russia and Belarus have made security guarantees threat forces since 2025 under the United States framework. The pact risks on attack either Russia or Belarus as an attack on the United States and allow both sides to use all available military and technical means, including nuclear weapons, to repel against the aggression or threat to their sovereignty or territorial integrity. Now let's report. Residents in Japan have voiced opposition on the large-scale US-Japan joint military exercise, which began on Saturday across the Kyushu region in southwestern Japan and Okinawa prefectures. Protesters have called for suspending the result Dragon-Field exercise, warning that it could heighten regional tensions and increase security risks for local communities. The United States has deployed its U.S. Typhoon medium-range missile system to Japan's Kagoshima prefectures for a joint military exercise, which protesters say are creating further tensions. Under Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, Japan has pursued a clear path for constitutional revision and military expansion. Regarding moves to strengthening Japan-U.S. military coalition, some Japanese citizens said they will resist to the end. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Support extended to families of martyrs in the Al-Sabah region. Nationals in various countries commemorated Martyrs' Day. Niger submits to formal bid to leave International Criminal Court. Ukraine is trying to widen conflict by threatening Minsk, the foreign minister has said. And that was the news from ERi-TV studios. This has been Dilitz High reporting. Thanks for watching and have a good night.